At this time, I call the March meeting of the County Commission to order. I hear a little ring. I don't know where it's coming from. We have Tommy Poole from the Martin's Crossroads CH Church with us tonight. We asked him to come. I think this is maybe his second time in the last 5 years. Mr. Poole, if you will, you come give the invocation, remain standing. Commissioner Henderson will lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag.
Dear Heavenly Father, as we come to you at this time, Lord, we're just thanking you for the many blessings that you've bestowed upon each one of us, Lord. And we ask you to bless this community and bless this committee that's here today, Lord, as they strive to make plans and guide us in what we're supposed to do in our county to help it be a better county for people to come into, that we'll have new people in the county, that everybody will be blessed that comes into this county, and they'll appreciate it. Lord, I've been so blessed to come into this county, and I appreciate you. But as we go through this, let's keep in mind that we need you, Lord. We need you above everything else. You need to be our number one priority, and help us to follow you. And we ask you, God, to help us for each new person we meet, to love them and respect them, regardless of how we may look at them. They may look different from us, but help us to love each one and care for each one. And I ask you to be with each office all the way through America. Lord, this country needs you worse than it's ever needed you before. And we just ask you, Lord, to be with us and help us to be prepared to do your will. And thank you, Lord, for the many blessings. In the name of Christ. Amen.
Amen. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Brother Poole, we appreciate you coming and giving the invocation. You're welcome to stay, or you're welcome to leave, whatever you. Yes, so come back to the podium.
I moved to Lincoln County roughly 20 years ago from Jefferson County. And I've been there like close to 60 years. And I want you to know that Lincoln County is a lot like Jefferson County. People seem to think the same. They work together the same. And I want to thank y'all for letting me be a part of this county.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Item 4 on the agenda is the approval of the minutes. I trust that you have read and looked the minutes over. I'll entertain a motion that the minutes be approved as print and sent to you.
Make motion we approve.
Have a motion by Commissioner Clyde, second by Commissioner Henderson. Any discussion? Chair hears none. All in favor of the motion, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, like sign. The motion is carried. Item 5 is the approval of the agenda. Madam Clerk, there's nothing else to be added to the agenda?
No, sir.
I have a motion that we approve the agenda as printed.
So moved.
We'll have to do that one again. Motion by Commissioner Tankersley, second by Commissioner Collins. Any discussion on the motion? Chair hears none. All in favor of the motion, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, like sign. Motion is carried. Item number 6, departmental reports, Office of Emergency Services, Director Broom.
Chairman, Commissioners, and guests, it is indeed an honor, as always, to be here. I thank you for the opportunity to serve. You have my written report. I will entertain any questions if you have any.
Any questions, Director Broom? We've looked at his report.
Mr. Chairman, if I might,
Commissioner Collins?
Director, remind me what the firehouse subs grant was for.
We were trying to get self-contained breathing apparatus. Ours are aged and need replacing. I put that it was unsuccessful because they haven't contacted me. The grant process says, don't call us, we'll call you. And I do know that their first round would have been February the 1st. I believe it may be eligible in subsequent rounds, the application might be. But
Okay.
it'll remain there until otherwise.
Thank you.
So we're unsuccessful on the first one, but we can reapply for it
We
when.
can, yes, sir, and I will continue to apply.
Okay.
And I've got no letter or anything like that, but I do know the round started, was decided the first week of February, and I have not received a response, so I assume that we are not successful.
Well, we wasn't successful on that one, but we are on another one a little later on the agenda, so that'll help us. Any other questions, Director Broom? Thank you. 6B is the Recreation Department. They have some activities going on. Director Glaze was here earlier, and I excused him, but you have his report in your book. 6C is the Finance Department, Director Dawes.
Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, you've got my printed reports, and the only thing I'd like to update you on or add is that I have started working I have produced a budget calendar, a tentative budget calendar that I've given to the chairman, and I've started working on getting our budget documents out, and it is my goal that on the 22nd or the 24th, I lost my date, but whatever that Monday is, that we'll be sending the budget documents out to the departments with a couple of weeks for them to get them done and sent back to us. So we have started the budget process.
Any questions, Director Dawes? Item 6D, Public Works, Director Seymour.
Chairman, members of the board, you have my written reports. I don't have anything to add to those. Unless you have some questions, I'll be more than happy to answer.
Any questions, Director Seymour?
I've got a comment.
Commissioner Clyde?
We had some volunteers to clean up Carter's roads, and we try to work on our folks that get in trouble and have to work. It was just family that took it on, a good thing to do, and it was a mess, as you well know. But I would like to thank, I had Johnny Brown's family, Johnny Benton's, and Lindsey Wright's family was the one out there picking all that up, loading up the trailer, and Judge Moss helped us a lot with that too, by the way. So appreciate all of that as they try to beautify the county a little bit when some folks don't seem to care about it too much.
Yes, sir.
So thank you.
Any other questions or statements to be made? You may be seated. There's no reason for you to be seated, is it?
No, sir.
At this time, we'll entertain a motion to go into our public hearing for our recommendations from the Planning Commission. Is there a motion?
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Motion by Commissioner Collins, a second.
I'll second.
Second by Commissioner Henderson. Any discussion on the motion? Chair is done. All in favor of the motion, let it be known by saying aye. Aye. All opposed, like sign. Motion's carried. We're now in our public hearing. Director Seymour.
Yes, sir. On March the 8th, 2021, the Planning Commission heard the following request. The applicant is Southern Cleaning Products, Mr. Gazaway and Penrose, map and parcel 4563, better known as 2405 McCormick Highway, consisting of 1 acre and currently zone C1. The special use is to apply for a front setback variance. Mr. Gazaway is looking to build a building on that property to house his containers that his chemicals come in. And because of the lay of the land and the lot size, he's not able to meet the 125-foot front setback, which is required on McCormick Highway. However, there is already an existing store on the parcel. If most of y'all are familiar, it's the old bait and tackle store on the left-hand side of the road just as soon as you pass the creek and start up the hill. And I think there's a drawing in your book, but he would like to ask for a variance request to be able to encroach on that 125-foot right-of-way, but not be any closer to the road than the current store building is today. And my board recommended approval unanimously, Chairman.
Mr. Gazaway, I see you in the audience. Do you have anything you'd like to say? Okay. Is there anyone here that would like to speak for or against? We're going with the for first. Do you speak for this recommendation? There being none, anyone here would like to speak against the commissioners approving the recommendation to grant the setback? There being none, is there a motion that we accept the recommendation of the Planning Commission to rezone map 45-63, not rezone it, but for special use?
Chairman, I'll make that.
Got a motion, is there a second?
I second, Mr. Chairman.
Motion by Commissioner Tankersley, second by Commissioner Clyde. Any discussion on the motion? Chair hears none. All in favor of the motion, let it be known by saying aye. Aye. All opposed, like sign. Motion is carried. Director Seymour.
Yes, sir. On March the 8th, the Planning Commission also heard the following request from Richard Brian Ligon, map and parcel 67001, better known as 1270 Cherokee Country Club, consisting of 15.47 acres, currently zoned R1. His special use is to request to have 5 campsite privileges on the property. If you are familiar, this piece of property used to be owned by, golly, I can't think of the name of the company now. There's about 50 campsites on that parcel, and so the company that owned it.
Director Seymour, would you yield?
Yes, sir.
I know some other people that has the same situation that you have with not being able to remember. You may continue.
Yes, sir. It's Augusta newsprint, by the way. And so, Mr. Ligon would like to utilize this piece of property and have 5 campsites on it. There's already a current bathhouse on the property that he's going to refurbish, and I think there's a second one that I think he's going to tear down. He's also, I think, going to build a pavilion, and this would be not open to the general public. It would be, for his employees only for, holidays and things. So my board recommended approval unanimously.
Have a recommendation from the Planning Commission. Is there anyone here that would like to speak in favor? Being none, anyone here that would like to speak against? There being none, Mr. Ligon, I see you are here. That's the Bulldog man down in Martinez and Evans. You see when you see him, he's a pretty good fellow, about 8 hours a day. Nobody's here wanting to speak against it? Okay, is there a motion that we accept the recommendation of the Planning Commission for approval?
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
I second, Mr. Chairman.
Got a motion by Commissioner Collins, second by Commissioner Clyde. Any discussion on the motion? Chair hears none. All in favor of the motion, let it be known by saying aye. Aye. All opposed, like sign. The motion is carried, and you two got what you wanted. Is there a motion that we come out of the public hearing and back into the regular session of the commission?
So moved.
There's a second.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Tankersley, second by Commissioner Collins. Any discussion? Chair hears none. All in favor of the motion, let it be known by saying aye. Aye. All opposed, like sign. Motion is carried. We out of the public hearing, back into the regular meeting. Line item number 8. Confinement services for Fort Gordon. Captain Leighton Taylor. Captain Taylor called this afternoon, and they are on a call up 79. So I say that so Mr. Scott, you and Commissioner Henderson, be careful going up the road, because they up that way doing something. This was in our work session the other day. I think we all know what it is to continue the services of housing prisoners for the United States government at Fort Gordon. It's a continuation of the one that was housed last year, where they pay us $70 a day to house these inmates, and they pay all the medical expenses and any other thing with it. We just pay for the feeding of them. I think he was with us and discussed it with us the other day. Is there a motion that we approve the confinement services for Fort Gordon.
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
There a second?
I second, Mr. Chairman.
Motion by Commissioner Collins, second by Commissioner Clyde. Any discussion on the motion? Chair hears none. All in favor of the motion, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, like sign, and the motion's carried. Mr. Bailiff, I would ask when you see something approaching us like this, looks like this, if you would be standing ready just in case something happens. Item number 9. It's the FY022 FTA 5311 grant for the Leisure Services Director Blunt.
Good afternoon. Y'all have a copy of the letter that was sent to Chairman Norman about the contract for the GDOT grant that we receive each year, and this is just a continuation from last year, and I'd like to ask y'all to approve it.
Okay, this was discussed at the work session. Just for the record, it's a total of $119,916. $59,958 will be paid for by the federal government. It will be matched by the county government, $59,950 for that total of $119 to keep our transit vans running. Is there a motion that gives me the authority to sign on behalf of the county?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second, Mr. Chairman.
Motion by Commissioner Tankersley, second by Commissioner Henderson. Any discussion on the motion? Chair hears none. All in favor of the motion, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Ms. Blunt, you can be excused. Item number 10 is the shelving issues at the library. Seems that we heard this too. Director Parton.
Chairman and Commissioners, I was coming today to talk to you about replacing a few of our units at the library, our shelving units that pose a few safety concerns. In your book, you'll have 3 quotes, the cheapest amount being from Demco for $7,993.22, and that money would come out of the Dover Partridge account, which is not part of the general fund.
Okay, you heard the request from Director Parton. The low bid is from Domenico for $7,993.22 to be paid Director Doss from the Dover Partridge Fund. Is there a motion?
I so move, Mr. Chairman.
Is there a second?
A second, Mr. Chairman.
Motion by Commissioner Clyde, second by Commissioner Collins. Any discussion on the motion? Chair hears none. All in favor of the motion, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, like sign. Motion's carried. You can get your shelving ordered, and we can talk with the Public Works Director and see if he can arrange for someone to get them put in for you. And if you can't arrange for them to get it put in, they probably won't get put up. Item number 11 is the United States Department of Agriculture letter of conditions. Director Broom.
Mr. Chairman, the good news you alluded to. Chairman, Commissioners, y'all are in receipt of a letter of conditions from USDA. This is the culmination of 2 applications in 2020, respectively July of 2020 and November of 2020. USDA chose to combine these in this letter. The total amount of applicable funds is $213,200 in, not to exceed $213,200 in a loan, and a grant not to exceed $100,000. These loan and grant funds will be utilized to purchase an ambulance stretcher, patrol vehicle, and cardiac monitor defibrillators for Lincoln County. I'm asking that the board authorize the chairman to sign all documents associated with the letter of conditions moving forward to hopefully a closing very soon on these projects.
Okay, we heard the request, and I just want to say this for those of you here or those that are watching or will be watching on television, the internet, or YouTube. I know it looks like we are going pretty fast with this. But we do have a work session before any commission meeting to allow the department heads to brief and bring up to date, and commissioners to all ask questions about what we're doing. That has been done. As the lady from the Lincoln Journal knows, about 2.5 hours the other day that we discussed what's on this agenda that we formally approve in about 30 or 40 minutes. So it's not that we've gone through it that fast, and it's not that we always agree on everything that we do. Some things that's not agreeable, that don't get on the agenda for us to debate. Most things that make it to the agenda have been discussed and debated, and they up for a vote. This is a total of $313,200. You heard what they were purchasing with it. $213,200 will be a loan for 7 years, I think, if that's what you choose to do, but we can pay it off earlier with no penalty. And $100,000 of that is a grant that we do not have to pay back, which means that approximately 70% of that is a loan and 30% of that is in a grant. Is there a motion that we approve, giving me and the clerk the authority to sign all papers pertaining to this and what the letter conditions from the government said we would do?
I'll move, Mr. Chairman. I'll second.
Hey, motion by Commissioner Henderson
Right.
Yes, sir.
And Tankersley, second.
and second by Tankersley. I don't know why I'm not getting that. All right, Commissioner Henderson made the motion, Commissioner Tanker seconded. Any discussion on the motion?
Mr. Chairman,
Commissioner Collins.
one question. Director, is this to purchase an entire ambulance?
A brand new ambulance, a brand new stretcher, brand new cardiac monitor, defibrillators, and a patrol vehicle.
Not just getting the cats?
Yeah, yes.
Yeah,
No, this is
okay.
brand new, stem to stern.
Thank you.
In other words, it's not a remount, I think.
It's not a remount, no, sir.
This is all new. Any other discussions? All in favor of the motion, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, like sign. Motion's carried. Get your ambulance ordered.
Yes, sir.
In case Commissioner Collins needs it. Item number 12 is pre-disaster hazardous mitigation resolution. Director Bruner.
Mr. Chairman, we have been working on a 3-year program, project funded by FEMA funds, as well as state funds and local in-kind matching funds that are arrived at by our multi-jurisdictional group that reviewed the development of the multi-jurisdictional hazard mitigation plan. None of this costs the county taxpayers directly any money. It has been completed. It's been approved by GEMA, sent to the FEMA, Federal Emergency Management Agency, and is now sent back to us for this board to adopt the resolution approving the final approval of the multi-jurisdictional hazard mitigation plan.
Okay, I think we're familiar with it. Is there a motion that gives me and the clerk the authority to sign on behalf of the county the disaster hazard mitigation resolution as presented by Director Bruner?
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Second.
I'll second, Mr. Chairman.
Motion by Commissioner Collins, second by Commissioner Cloud. Any discussion on the motion? Chair hears none. All in favor of the motion, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, like sign. Motion is carried. Item 13 is the risk assessment and emergency response plans. Director Seymour.
Chairman, another item that we discussed at the work session, but Congress passed the America Water Infrastructure Act in 2018, which requires community water systems that serve more than 3,300 people to update their risk assessment and emergency response plan. So what you have before you is a proposal for EMI, which is the county's engineering firm, to perform those two tasks for the county water system at the cost not to exceed $8,000.
Okay, you heard this on the proposal professional service risk assessment and emergency response plans by the engineers presented by the director, that we pay up to $8,000. Is there a motion?
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Is there a second?
I'll second, Mr. Chairman.
Motion by Commissioner Collins, second by Commissioner Henderson. Any discussion on the motion? Chair hears none. All in favor of the motion, let it be known by saying aye. Aye. All opposed, like sign. Motion is carried and it is passed. Agenda item number 14 is Cherokee Country Club Road, Director Seymour.
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman. As y'all are aware, we applied to GDOT, Georgia Department of Transportation, for some funding through their LMIG program to pave a current dirt road, which is Cherokee Country Club Road. You have in your packet a letter from them that they are willing to commit up to $162,500 or 90% of the total cost of the project. I've also have you a cost estimate of what it's going to take for the county to pave that road, which ended up being $107,900. And so I'm asking for your approval for us to move forward with that project and be reimbursed. This is a reimbursable grant through GDOT, so we would pay the funds up front. They would reimburse us 90% of our funding, of what we paid up to $162,500.
Director Seymour, is it not true that these funds will be paid through the LMIG that you just talked about, Local Maintenance Improvement Grant? The balance of this will be paid with T-Splash money?
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman, that is correct.
So all of this is coming either from the grant money or from T-Splash funds?
That is correct, yes.
In the amount, in the amount of $107,900?
Yes, sir.
Okay, is there a motion that we approve the paving of this road?
I made that motion, Mr. Chairman.
That's second.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Clyde, second by Commissioner Tanksley. I think this falls in District 2 and partly in District 3 across the street, isn't it?
Yes, sir,
it's all
across the street. Yes, sir.
Anyway, we're gonna see if we can get this done. Any discussion?
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, sir.
we doing a good bit of work ourselves to get this thing cost down, because we bid it out and it was too high, right?
Yeah, we actually bid it out, it was over $300,000. So we went back to GDOT and asked if we could perform some of the tasks ourselves in-house. They said we could get those costs down low enough to where we could get 90% of the total cost reimbursed by GDOT. Yes, sir, that is correct.
Good question. Any other questions? All in favor of the motion, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, like sign. Motion's carried. You have a schedule for that, Director Seymour?
I do not, but we will get started just as soon as possible.
Okay.
Probably going to be finishing sometime probably mid to late April, I would imagine, depending on how we can get the things lined up and temperatures going. These cold nights may take a couple of weeks to get the temperature where we need it to be, where we can start laying asphalt.
We did vote, didn't we?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. See, I'm getting like you. Okay, next item on the agenda is item number 15, the Ag Center. Now, I understand, and I don't just understand, I see Ms. Robin Stewart in the audience, who is our director of our extension service, that is housed in the Ag Center, so we're going to probably make you happy tonight. Director Seymour.
Yes, sir. As y'all are aware, we started this project early last year by constructing a new agricultural center out at the Curry Calvin Complex. To date, we have been able to provide about 3,200 square feet of office space for 4-H and for the extension office, and it is completed, and we've been able to do that through 100% grant funds from some special appropriations, and then we went to USDA and got 100% grant loans twice to finish that 3,200 square feet for a total of about $338,500 to date. So all that has been 100% grant money, not one dime has come from Lincoln County. So what we are asking is to finish the other 3,200 square feet. This is a 6,400 square foot building, which is the back half, which is basically the meeting room, to where they can hold events there, they can have awards, banquets, and those types of things there. Not only that, be open to some other civic organizations to do the same. I have put together a budget for you, and we feel like we can do this for about $49,000. to finish that back half of that building, and I'm asking approval to do that, through our SPOS funds, which is still, not coming out of the general fund hall.
Okay, you've heard the request that we can finish this building with the $49,000 that you'd authorize us to pay from the special purpose local option sales tax monies to complete that building. Is there a motion?
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Is there a second?
I'll second, Mr. Chairman.
Motion by Commissioner Collins, second by Commissioner Tankersley. Any discussion on the motion? Chair hears none. All in favor of the motion, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, like sign, motion's carried. So we'll be getting started out there pretty quick. Now, Ms. Stewart, I want you to go to work on Representative Leverett and Senator Anderson pretty quick, so when they go back to Atlanta next year, we want to see if they can get us the money for the second part of that building, which will put the show arena and the place to keep the animals stored. And if we can get another $300,000 or $400,000, we'll be able to, it won't take that much to do the rest of it, but we'll be able to get your building completed. We can have cow shows and goat shows and sheep shows and horse shows, as well as other things. So I'm excited to see the building finally fixed to get completed, and I hope in the next couple of months we'll be through with it. You can bring your 4-H people in. I understand the Cattlemen's Association would like to use it for some of their meetings, as well as the soil and water conservation things that we've been doing at the Lincoln Center will probably be over there too. So I think the building is going to be utilized, and I read your article in the paper last week, and I had several people to call me, and I got a love bug in the back of my head. And even got a call Saturday about somebody. I look forward to the signage getting put up, though. They did I read where they were ordered? You got them coming. As soon as you get them, get in touch with Direct Seymour, let's get them up, because I was going out there to walk, and I couldn't find out how to get in there. Thank you for what you're doing. You're doing a good job for us. Okay, we're going to move right along to item 16, 2021 LMEG project, Director Seymour.
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman. This is a funding source that we get every year through Georgia Department of Transportation. And if the name sounds familiar, the previous couple of items ago was the same program. We get these funds every year from GDOT. That's the local maintenance improvement grant. If you recall, we had applied for these prior to December the 31st for these two particular roads, and we received $316,573.17. We have a required match of 10% of those funds that come out of T-SPLOS, which gives us a total of $348,230.49. Metersville Road and Loveless Road were the two roads that we put on the application through GDOT. And so the numbers came in, and to do both of those roads, we're looking at $481,676.80, which means there's a deficit of $133,446.31 that we would need to pay out of our T-SPLOS funding to be able to do both of those roads and complete both of them with surface treatment. And this would be just like the road at White Rock Road. We would do two coats. We would do a coat of 89s and then a coat of Stay-Lite, which is what is on the top of White Rock down here. And then on top of that, right off the bat, those two roads are on our striping list. I don't know if anybody's seen where we're doing some striping. And we'd like to get these done prior to the stripers getting in here to where we won't have to pay for striping, and that was done through a grant through GDOT as well. So I'd like for approval to do both of these roads, Chairman, with $133,446.31 coming from our T-SPLOS funding.
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. McCollum, I hadn't called for a vote yet.
It's time to pay that road.
You finally got something partly in your district.
Found 20 years, you're gonna do something in District 2.
I see you smiling, and I see Commissioner Henderson smiling, I ain't heard a word out the other two. Okay, I think everybody understood that, particularly Director Doss. We're gonna be paying, we're gonna get $316,000 that from the LMEG money that we're appropriating to it. And we'll be matching that with T-Splosh money of $31,657.32. Also added to that will be the $133,446 with T-Splosh money too. So those two combined would be T-Splosh, so you're looking at about $170,000 roughly of T-Splosh money.
Yes, sir.
All right, we got a motion and a second. Any discussion?
Mr. Chairman, I was just going
We didn't get a motion and a second.
We got a motion, no second.
Got a motion by Commissioner Collins, second by Commissioner Henderson. In discussion, Commissioner Clyde.
I was going, this is going to pay Meadersville, from the Willis County line back to the city limits, is that how?
Actually, Meadersville Road is a county road from the red light at 378 all the way to the county line. So this would pave it from the red light all the way to the county line at Wilkes County. So it'll come all the way to the red light at 378, yes, right by Dr. Williams' office.
Thanks, sir.
Any other discussion? All in favor of the motion, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, like sign, motion's carried. Item 17 is a text message, chapter 34-463 of the Lincoln County Code, Land Development Code. Director.
Yes, sir. Section 34-463 deals with temporary non-conforming uses. And in this code section, it allows for what we call a medical hardship. If someone is incapacitated and can't take care of themselves and need either a family member or a close relative or even a close friend to stay with them and need 24-hour care, this ordinance allows them to put a manufactured home in. We are asking that we change that ordinance to allow for a recreational vehicle instead of a mobile home. There's a couple of other changes in here, one of those being that it doesn't have to be an immediate family member. It could be anybody that you want to move in to help take care of you. Now this provision does require that you have to renew it once a year. And by renewing that, you have to have certified letters from doctors saying that you need 24-hour care. Once the hardship's over, then the recreational vehicle would have to be removed from the property. So this is just a temporary hardship, and there's a couple of text changes in here. We changed the amount of time that you have from the time the hardship's over. It used to be 6 months with a mobile home because it took a while for you to get it removed. With a travel trailer, it's not that hard to remove it, so we reduced that to 90 days, Chairman.
Okay, you have heard the recommendation of the Planning and Zoning Director, Public Works. I think we referred to this in-house as the Clyde Bill. Is there a motion that we approve the text change to section 34-463 of the Land Development Code?
Mr. Clyde would like to make that motion.
Have a motion. Is there a second?
Second, Mr. Chairman.
Motion by Commissioner Clyde, second by Commissioner Collins. Any discussion on the motion?
Mr. Chairman, if I might.
Commissioner Collins.
Director, we have changed the wording here to say recreational vehicle.
Yes, sir.
Now, if someone wanted to put a single wide trailer,
No, sir. No, they would be confined to a recreational vehicle, and there's a reasoning for that. Number one is it puts more of a financial hardship on the family to put that mobile home there and then take it away once the hardship's over. So you're looking at a financial hardship as well. With a recreational vehicle, that hardship financially is not as bad.
okay, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Any other questions? All in favor of the motion, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, like sign, motion is carried. Director Seymour, if you'll give that to the clerk, she'll get it to mini code, and it'll be a part of the county code book.
Yes, sir.
All right, the next item is, item 18, COVID election grant. I think we're familiar with this one. This is a grant that was received, I think, in the amount of $20,000. I'm gonna get you, Director Dawson, maybe to help me with this if we need it. I think most of this grant has been spent, but we have a request that from the election superintendent that we spend $2,050 of this to give a little hazardous pay to the director, her secretary, the poll manager, and the people that worked on the polls during the election of $25 apiece. The director, $500, the secretary, the administrative assistant, $300, and the poll manager, $150. The rest of them get $25 apiece. That has been brought to me by the election superintendent. I think we've discussed it a good bit last Tuesday. So I will bring it to a vote. We'll vote to see how it comes out. But if they do that, we would be spending $2,050 of the $20,000. Is that correct? Okay. Is there a motion?
I'll make the motion, Mr. Chairman.
Is there a second?
I'll second, Mr. Chairman.
Motion by Commissioner Clyde, second by Commissioner Henderson. Any discussion on the motion? Commissioner Collins.
Time out. I don't know that you would call this discussion, but I'm just going to state my position. Now, as I understand this motion, and if it passes, we're authorizing, I'm going to say Mrs. Bolton, to take $2,050 from this grant to give to her and the people who worked during the last election. Now, I'm going to call this hazardous duty pay, because I don't have a better word to call it. Now, I appreciate and I applaud Ms. Bolton for going out and finding grants. And a lot of this $20,000 was spent to sanitize the polls, voting places, I guess supplies that were needed, because all this came about because of the virus that's broke loose about a year ago. However, the county only gave what I call hazardous duty pay to two groups of people, our deputy sheriffs and our EMS personnel. Not the sheriff, not the director of the EMS. Just the people who man the ambulances and the people who ride around in the deputies' cars. And I feel like this was done by the nature of their job. They go out every day, and they don't know when they arrive at the scene or to the house or whatever, what they're going to walk into. So yes, that is hazardous. But it's part of their daily job requirements. Therefore, I agreed at the time and do now that those two groups of people should get a little extra during this period of time. And I think we can make a good argument for every county employee. In the public works, people who work for the water department, they had to go every day. And sometimes they run into people who are having problems with their water or people with the sewer. They don't know what they're facing when they get out of the truck to say, hey, how can we help you? So these are people that make a living working for the county. They're not volunteers. And I don't mean to downplay the interest of the people who serve the polls during the election. But the truth is, they were volunteers. They don't make a living doing it, they're volunteers. So therefore, Mr. Chairman, I cannot vote to give this money to the people that work for the Pope during the election.
Commissioner Collins, that's your right. We respect your decision. I do want to make, is there any other discussion by members of the board? I will make just one comment that I don't have to do very often at this meeting, but because you made or second a motion to bring it to a discussion, doesn't tie you to have to vote for what you made a motion for. You made a motion to bring it to a discussion. Now we called it to a vote. If you don't want to vote for it, then you don't have to because you made the motion. Y'all know that. I'm talking in general to everybody. With that said, all in favor of the motion that was made, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay, I didn't understand who did it, who made the motion. Motion was made by Commissioner,
I made the motion.
I got you, to vote. We got a vote by Commissioner Henderson. Commissioner Collins,
Sir,
how you voting?
no.
Okay. Commissioner Tankersley?
No.
Commissioner Tankersley? Boy, this don't happen often. Commissioner Tankersley, no. Commissioner Clyde?
No.
Mr. Clyde voted no. So, the motion has failed with a vote of 3-1. The chairman did not have to vote because Mr. Clyde voted the other way, so I only vote in the case of a tie. This has failed. We'll move on to the next agenda. The next agenda is NACO, the National Association of County Membership. We received a letter February 25th from the Association of County Commissioners telling us if the COVID-19 passed and basically how hard NACO, acronym National Association of Counties, worked for the county governments to get this, and Lincoln County had been a member of NACO since 1976, from 1976 to 2010. For some reason, at 11 to today, we were not a member. All 159 counties in Georgia are members of the association. I don't know the number of counties in the United States that are members of NACO, but I feel comfortable. It's a high percentage tile, 90-some-odd%, I would think. But I am asking that we rejoin and be a member of the National Association of Counties, who works at the federal level for us, like the Association of County Commissioners of Georgia works on the state level. Lincoln County could be the recipient, and I guess we are the recipient, or will be the recipient, of some of the COVID money that's coming in. I have been told from the Association of County Commissioners of Georgia, not from NACO, because we're not a member, but Lincoln County could probably get as much as $1,549,917. NACO would like for Lincoln County, Georgia, to reinstate their membership with them, and the membership dues are $450 per year. And I am going to ask for a motion to reauthorize Lincoln County to become a member once again of the National Association of Counties.
Mr. Chairman, I'll make that motion.
We have a motion, is our second. Motion by Commissioner Tankersley, second by Commissioner Henderson. Any discussion on the motion? Chair hears none. Commissioner Collins, would you like to speak?
No, sir.
Chair hears none. All in favor of the motion, let it be known by saying aye. Aye. All opposed, like sign. The motion is carried. Item 20 is the Georgia Forestry Service. As you know, we do this every year to provide forestry service to the approximately 81,584 acres of property in Lincoln County that would help us. The state sets the formula. You do not have to be a member, but I think most counties are. I think one time Lincoln County pulled out and pressure was put back on and they put it back on, but we've been a member since I've been back. The state says we pay 10 cents per acre. That's a total of $8,158 that we would pay the Georgia Forestry Commission to provide services to the Lincoln County property owners as far as the forest fires are concerned. Is there a motion that approves us to pay the $8,158 to the Forestry Commission?
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Second?
I'll second.
Motion by Commissioner Collins, second by Commissioner Henderson. Any discussion? Commissioner Henderson.
It's my understanding that this is not just for firefighting, it's also for fire mitigation. It's work that they do for property owners to plow breaks and do controlled burning and that sort of stuff. So it's not just related to fighting fires when something catches on fire.
That is correct, and I think that had a lot to do with it last time, is people wanting to have controlled burners and the forestry wouldn't come down and help with them because we wasn't a member. I wasn't here, but that's what I've been told.
Yes, sir.
Any other discussion? All in favor of the motion, let me know by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, like sign. The motion's carried. Item number 21 is Jeff and Sherry Easter Homecoming, 2020. We did not have a Jeff and Sherry Homecoming because of the pandemic. They are planning to have it this year. They're asking the county by letter that you have in your book that we contribute back again through our hotel motel tax, which has parameters that we have to use to spend this money, and tourism is one of them. This is a tourism event bringing people into the county for the weekend for this festival. In the past, I think, Madam Clerk, it's been $1,000. Is that what it was?
Yes, sir, that's what we did.
So, for discussion, we need a motion to approve whatever limit you want to, whatever you want to give them, but I'm saying $1,000. It could be more or less. It's up to the board.
I make the motion, we give them $1,000, Mr. Chairman.
From the hotel motel tax.
Yes, sir.
Commissioner Clyde made the motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Who seconded that?
Collins.
Motion by Commissioner Clyde, second by Commissioner Collins. All in favor of the motion, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, like sign. Motion's carried. Item 22 is the Cobra Anthem Resolution. Clerk McKellar.
Yes, sir, we're bringing before you a resolution from Blue Cross Blue Shield of Georgia for them to take over our Cobra. Currently, we have it is through WageWorks, and it costs us 75 cents per employee eligible for insurance. If we sign this resolution with Blue Cross Blue Shield, they will take it over and there will be no cost to the county.
I think, Madam Clerk, that we talked about this a little bit the other day at the work session, and I might be speaking out of turn, but I don't think I am. It's the only thing that has changed since Tuesday when we met. County attorney asked, I know, for something that it be changed, that if something happened, it would be held in Lincoln County, and did you reach out to them and we can't do that?
Yes, sir, that's correct. They denied that.
So they denied that, Mr. Attorney.
It's still fine, Mr. Chairman. Like I said previously, I think the county can get out with 30 days written notice to them.
Okay, so you have no problem with us approving this then?
No, sir.
Okay, just want to be that, because that was not a part of it Tuesday. Okay, is there a motion that gives me the authority, the clerk, to sign on behalf of the county for this administrative service agreement?
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Say a second.
I'll second, Mr. Chairman.
Motion by Commissioner Tankersley, second by Commissioner Collins. Any discussion on the motion? Chair is none. All in favor of the motion, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, like sign. The motion has carried. Item 23 is Financial Software Director Doss.
Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, coming for you tonight, asking you to accept a proposal from Tyler Software and piggybacking on the RFP from Sourcewell, which is a purchasing cooperative. They've given us a price to replace our financial software as well as our billing and public works software, and also provide us with a document management solution. We discussed this in some detail at the meeting this past week. So what I'm asking is the approval for up to $116,180 on one-time expenses over a 15-month period to come out of our SPLOS funding for this software, and then annual recurring fees of $49,753, which are locked in for 4 years, which will come out of general budget appropriations, which we will absorb in our existing budgets. And I'm asking for approval from the Board of Commissioners to grant the chairman and the clerk, as well as the county attorney, to review all appropriate documents, make any amendments they see forward, and execute the documents on behalf of the county.
Director Dawes, let me ask a question.
Yes, sir.
I guess I should do this after a vote too, since everybody else does, but I know you said 116,000, and what I show is 117,830. Did you say that right, or is mine wrong?
No, sir. I had failed to strike that $1,650 from that third-party hardware and software. We're not going to purchase those items because we already have them in.
All right, give me the total amount again.
$116,180.
Okay. I knew it had to be a reason somewhere. Okay, we need a motion to approve the recommendation of the finance director on the software. Y'all familiar with it? $116,180, and I believe we said that'd be paid as it was phased in, probably over a 15-month period.
Yes, sir.
$50,000 for recurring fees, which is license fees and all that. Okay, is there a motion?
I'll make that motion, Mr. Chairman.
Second.
I'll second, Mr. Chairman.
Motion by Commissioner Clyde, second by Commissioner Henderson. Any discussion?
I've got one, go ahead, Brian.
Commissioner Clyde.
On the reoccurring fees, the 49,000, we've got to pay that out the first time on top of the 116,180.
Yes, sir, because this is a subscription-based model, so yes, sir, we would pay those.
And I'm sure you probably said it a while ago when I was reading the text message, but we pay 12 now, so that's really like 38,000, increasing out of 50. Is that right?
Yes, sir. We are currently paying approximately $12,000 a year from licensing fees on the existing software, and there's new software that we're currently not using in this $50,000 annual, as well as they're actually hosting this in the cloud for us, so we're not having to buy the hardware for it as well.
Commissioner Henderson.
Just a question. How long has Tyler Technologies, how long have they been in business? Are they new or?
No, sir, they are not new, and I did know the answer to that, but they have been in the business for at least 25 or 30 years, and they're one of the largest ERP vendors in the state of Georgia for government services. I know that McDuffie County, Columbia County, Jefferson County, Greene County, and the city of Grovetown are all using their software. Sir? Thank you. 1997, sir.
Okay, any other discussion? All in favor of the motion, let it be known by saying aye. Aye. All opposed, like sign, motion is carried. Thank you. To item 24, Director Dawson, 2021 ACCG Trust Fund Cash Return.
Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, we are a member of a self-funded workers' compensation fund, and ACCG is returning $11,991 to the county, and I just need the board to receive that and allow me to redistribute that, the pro rata share from where it came originally.
Okay, you heard the request that we accept the approval of $11,991, and that he will appropriate to the departments that it goes to. That's good. We spent a lot of money to get $11,991 back. but all of it helps. Is there a motion?
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Is there a second?
Second, Mr. Chairman.
Motion by Commissioner Tankersley, second by Commissioner Collins. Any discussion on the motion? Chair hears none. All in favor of the motion, let it be known by saying aye. All opposed, like sign. The motion is carried. Item number 26 is the Planning Commission Board appointment. Commissioner Henderson.
Still not ready, Mr. Chairman.
Okay.
I'm working on it.
Okay, you got all the time you want, because as the law requires, whoever that person is remains on until you make a decision.
Yes, sir.
Okay, we'll have that back next month unless you tell us not to. This is the one we have one of the hardest motions to get of the entire meeting. Is there a motion that we adjourn?
So moved.
Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Motion by Commissioner Tankersley, second by Commissioner Clyde. Any discussion on the motion? Chair hears done. All in favor of the motion, let it be known by saying aye. All opposed, like sign. Motion carried. We stand adjourned.